personally, because you often talk about the role of football in bringing people together, FIFA also made a decision that might have been seen as a political decision as well in suspending the Russian teams and the Russian national side. Can you talk a little bit about FIFA's role, because there's other examples around the world?
Yes, I'm very sad, of course, for what is happening. I'm devastated, as everyone, for what is happening. I have to say that as FIFA president, I have been confronted in the last few years with situations as well in other parts of the world, with conflicts in other parts of the world, which I have to say, living in Europe, I was not really, you know, they were happening, but you were not really living them so closely. Since I'm FIFA president and I'm traveling all over the world, I've visited over 150 or 170 countries, I don't know exactly how many. And you see people suffering, and you see that you know, the communities, the international communities, don't maybe do what should be done. And you see that a ball like that, given to boys and girls, to children, gives them a smile, gives them a little bit of joy. You see what impact football can have. So, whilst I'm sad, and I said it as well at the Congress, and whilst again, you know, we can speak about the power of football, and it has certainly a power to bring people together. It has to bring people together, but we cannot, sadly, we cannot solve conflicts ourselves. We can contribute. We can hope that they will be solved, and then contribute to bringing people together. When Israel signed an agreement with UAE and Bahrain, we were with the Israeli FA, with the Bahraini FA, with the UAE Football Association, and they play together. And of course this doesn't solve the issues and the problems, which are much bigger than that, but it gives at least a little bit of hope and understanding. So, as I said also at the Congress itself, my plea, and I'm really asking and praying for that, to everyone who has a leadership position, contribute to, you know, to peace, to stop hostilities, to not escalate, to dialogue. This is the good thing about football, that it brings people together. Now, we had to suspend Russia and Russian teams from participations. It's not an easy decision, of course not, because it's about people who love football like everywhere else. But we had to take the decision, and now we have to look forward and hope that the hostilities can stop and we can bring a little bit of peace. I mentioned it a few times, sorry for just adding this as well. If we look at the last century, who are the people who made really an impact in humanity? Mandela and Gandhi. Both of them had probably millions of reasons to be violent, and they decided to take another route, to go towards their enemies and to do it in a peaceful way. Well, I think football should be about that, bringing people together, breaking down barriers of all kinds, and creating some understanding between people. And I also believe that, you know, we need to stop being hypocrites, looking at the realities of the world, and learn, and I said it before as well, to live again with each other, changing a little bit our mindset, being a bit more tolerant, a bit more understanding, and going towards the people rather than escalating in violent behaviors. Thank you.
Okay, next question. We'll go second row, mid to the end, second row, please. Thank you.
Jamie Gardner from the Press Association. A couple, if I can. Why do you feel it's right that the Russian Football Union are here And does FIFA have any plans to suspend the union as well as the national teams and clubs? And you talked in the Congress speech about the old FIFA being a toxic organisation. Would the current FIFA regime have accepted a bid from Qatar to host a World Cup?
Well, the decision on Russia has been taken around a month ago, I think. The Russian Football Union has appealed that decision at the CAS, so we are waiting, of course, to the result of the CAS deliberations in this respect, and then we will see what comes next. As I said, I sincerely hope that the conflict can end, and we can again, and we will be there the first day to play football again, because that's what I think is needed in these countries. So Russia as a football union, like any other federation, has not been suspended as such by FIFA and has been participating in this Congress as well, because if we don't have occasions to bring people together like a Congress, then we rather stop and go home. When it comes to the Qatar World Cup, decision has been taken now 12 years ago. I was far away from that, from the FIFA happenings in these days. We have now put in place a different bidding process, which I think is also pretty unique. I said in the past, bulletproof. I hope it will continue to be bulletproof, because it's open, it's transparent, it's professional. There is a ranking. You know why you vote for somebody when you vote for somebody. This is what has happened for the Men's World Cup in 2026 and for the Women's World Cup in 2023. We still see that even in these decisions there are some, how shall I call them, political votes rather than factual-based votes. That's probably part of the game. When it comes to Qatar, decision has been taken. We organize the best World Cup ever here in Qatar. And in any case, we shouldn't go back, we should go look forward, and we should go look at what has happened, because all the changes that have happened in this country in terms of human rights and workers' rights and so on, human rights would not have happened, or certainly not at the same speed, without the projectors of the World Cup being there. And when I hear some of the comments by some people who say, well, the World Cup shouldn't go there because the Arab world and they have no tradition. Who says it? The ball doesn't belong to anyone. The ball belongs to everyone. We are all the same in this. We should go to Arab countries, of course. We should go to Eastern Asia countries. We should go to African countries, to South American. We have to go everywhere. This is what football is about, and I'm looking forward to the next 100 years of World Cup. I will not be president of FIFA that long. But to have World Cups being played all over the world. And if it's in countries who never have hosted them, even better.
Okay, next question. If we can go into the middle row, please. We'll go over here, please. Gentleman, row 3. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you very much. My name is Gary Al Smith. I work with Joy FM in Ghana, and thank you, Mr. President, for your congratulations.
Congratulations again to Ghana.
For our country.
And to all other 29 who qualified for the World Cup.
Obviously, yes.
Or other 28.
Other 28
plus Ghana
as well, yes. Where I come from in Africa, we are very used to FIFA coming down hard on us for political interference when it comes to decisions that have to do with football and things outside football, basically governments and football federations. It was quite interesting for us in Africa, and I'm sure for many people around the world, to see FIFA so swiftly, so quickly make its stance known on Russia and declare that what was happening in Russia was a travesty of justice when it comes to human relations. But we don't see that in many, many other places. I don't want to name names. And in just before I'm just asking the question, you mentioned the word hypocrisy. I want to know, maybe on behalf of the rest of the world, have we reached a watershed moment where from now, from today, anywhere in the world there is a conflict where one nation is invading, hitting at another nation, FIFA is going to act, or this is going to be only for Russia and Ukraine? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. And FIFA is acting everywhere in the world, and we have to treat the same situations in the same way and different situations in a different way. We have to analyze every situation in the same way. You're saying we were acting swiftly. Today I was hearing we were acting slowly. Of course, you cannot do it right, and any decision you take is maybe the wrong one. We don't know. We will know with time. What we do is analyze every single situation, every single case on its own merits, and then, based on our conscience, we try to take the decision that we feel is the right one in these particular circumstances. Now, of course, there are other situations of conflict. I said it. There are other countries suffering. Let me give you another example, not about a war, but about refugees, because today Europe is confronted on a big refugee crisis coming from Ukraine, and the whole of Europe opens its door to welcome the Ukrainian, and that's great. Well, a few months ago, we helped a couple of hundred Afghani, mainly women and girls, with the help of Qatar, to come out of Afghanistan, to come to Qatar. Well, we were begging all countries in the world to open up their doors to these Afghani girls and women. Very few opened their door. Albania did. I have to thank Albania. Albania, out of all, opened their doors. Not the richest country in the world, but they did. Because they know what it means. They had suffered themselves, and they were happy when Italy welcomed many Albanians some years ago. Many other countries didn't. Now, how can you treat a girl or a woman differently depending on where she's coming from? It's not possible. But it's like this. So we need to work and continue to work and continue to speak up and continue to convince people to try to be a bit more tolerant and understandable.
Okay, 2 questions left. We can go up to the very back, please.
If you have any football question, it would also not be too bad, huh?
Yes, good afternoon.
إبراهيم الفريان المملكة العربية السعودية.
From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we would like to thank you. Tell us about the chances of Morocco, Tunisia, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the World Cup and the participation in Qatar. Thank you. Asking about the chances, the prospects.
I didn't hear the question. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Could you repeat it, please? There was interference on our... would you mind repeating the question?
It was not...
Sorry, sir.
Hello, Ibrahim Al-Rayyan, a Saudi journalist. Tell us about the chances of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's team, the Moroccan team, as well as the Tunisian team, in the participation in the World Cup. Thank you.
Yeah, let me say I'm very happy that Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, and Morocco have qualified for the World Cup. Mabruk, Elf Mabruk, with Saudi Arabia being next door, and with the big Moroccan and Tunisian communities here in Qatar and in the whole region plus all those who will travel from all over the world, I think we'll have a great event here in Qatar. Now let me tell you one thing. We had the Club World Cup. We were speaking about the Club World Cup earlier, and the semi-final between Chelsea and Al-Hilal from Saudi Arabia was a very, very tight game. Now in Chelsea, at the kickoff of the match, there were 0 English players. 0. In Al-Hilal, there were 7 Saudi players playing, and the match was fought until the very last minute, and if Kepa wouldn't have made some incredible saves, I don't know how it would have ended. So the quality of football in Saudi Arabia, in Morocco, and in Tunisia is exceptional, and with the push of their fans, I think we are speaking about doubling the size of the stadiums to fit them all in. I'm sure they will do great results, because together with Qatar, they are all playing at home here in the Gulf region. Shukran.
Okay, if we can go, please, to gentlemen, final question, second row on the right. Thank you.
Sí. Muy buenas tardes, Gianni.
Hola.
Es José Félix Díaz de Marca.
Hello, Gianni. This is José Luis Díaz from Marca. I didn't recognize you. Sorry. Congratulations to Spain. Thank you. Let's see if we can repeat what we did in South Africa. There's 31 more wanted the same. Yes, but in South Africa only one won, right? Yes, Gianni, I wanted to ask you about the new calendar, which is around the corner. In 2024, we assume there will be a new calendar. Today we talked about the Club World Final and the possibility of having a biannual World Cup. Can you tell us about the current situation on that potential calendar for 2024?
Yes, on the international match calendar, as you know, the current one ends in 2024. We have been, and I said it earlier, I hope you have carefully listened. We have, of course, been making, on demand of our Congress, 88% of the Congress asked us last year to study the feasibility of a World Cup every 2 years, amongst other things. We did study that. We found out that it's feasible, and it would even be positive for a big part of the world. But there is, of course, also a big opposition to it. And that's exactly where the discussions have to start, because we could go for a vote and get a majority to vote for more competitions. But we are aware that it's more important to exchange, to discuss, and to see, and to try to convince everyone that it is important to do something more for football. Now, whether it's a World Cup every 2 years, a World Cup every 3 years, a different type of competition. We had the Confederations Cup in the past. We have to think about what is best for the development of football, and everyone has to realize that it's not of the benefit of anyone to close itself. Even if you are the biggest and the richest, it's always better to be open. It's always better to share a little bit, because those who are on the top, they will grow even more, but you give as well to all the others a chance. So we are looking at all different options. We are discussing with all confederations, with the member associations, and we will take the time that it takes. We are not in a hurry. The calendar is there till 2024. We have now a World Cup that takes place. If we find an agreement in 1 week, it's great. If we find in 1 year, it's great as well. What we want to do is to have an impact on the global football, an impact on making really football global, and we take the time it takes, again, with the utmost of understanding for all the positions, respect for everyone, respect mainly as well for the institutions, and I think this is crucial as well. We need to respect that there is FIFA, that there are confederations, that there are member associations. I said it before, that football is organized as a pyramid, that FIFA is organizing competitions between confederations, competitions between associations within that continent, and associations in their own country. We need to protect this model, and we need to keep it open and to give chances to everyone to participate. Now, it's true that 100 years ago, some wise men decided that the World Cup should take place every 4 years. Times are evolving. Let's see what we can do better and how we can do better. But again, we take all the time it takes. We're not in a rush. We're not in a hurry. It's better to take a bit more time and to do it right.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Thank you very much indeed, Gianni. That ends this press conference. Any questions, please, to media@fifa.org. Conscious of time, so we've got to go.
Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. I'm sorry.